Welcome to the SCLD podcast, where we talk about all the things you can do and find at the library.
Hello, I am Erin Dodge here with Spokane County Library District, and with me today are two librarians, Dana Menino and Diane Brown, and we're here to talk about some of the resources and materials we have for people who are going to be traveling abroad. And maybe you didn't know, the library has a bunch of stuff that can help you. Let's start with materials. So people are probably think, oh yeah, travel guides. Maybe the library has those.
We do have those, and we get asked for them regularly. So I know that they're still very popular in print, but I do want to add the caveat that these are also, most of them, available in our digital collection as well. So if you're at home right now planning a trip and you don't want to wait till you get to the library, you may be able, with your in-district library card, to start reading those books immediately via Libby or Hoopla.
Nice.
So no matter what your preferred brand of travel guide is, we have it. This is a Rick Steves travel guide for Australia. This is a Lonely Planet travel guide for Banff, Jasper, and Glacier.
Nice.
No, this is Rick Steves. I apologize. This is Photos.
There we go.
But our sticker is covering it up. So whoever you trust for your travel information, we stock them. We also have moon guides. We also have guides for specific destinations that are smaller than a country. Here we have several. Yes.
Perfect.
Disneyland feels like its own country, but
it kind of is. I mean, you can go to it in several different countries.
It's true. We have several Disney-related guides. We have different guides for specific modes of travel. This is a backpacking Europe guide.
Oh.
I hope some of you are getting to have that sort of adventure. It sounds wonderful. Or for particular kinds of travelers with specific needs. This is a vacation guide for accessible travel in the U.S. If you have mobility, vision, or hearing situation that you need extra support for. Here are some great places to go. So whether you're looking for destination information, traveler-specific information, or mode-specific information, we have lots of books on RV camping, for example. The library's physical collection is a good place to start your search, or our digital collection in Overdrive.
Very nice. And also Hoopla.
And Hoopla.
Yeah. And you can get those Overdrive on your phone, Overdrive titles, with the Libby app, also on your tablet and various other things. Yes. Very cool. So now our digital library, so that's part of our digital library, right? Hoopla and Overdrive, but there's some other very special or very specific different digital resources that we have. And Diane, you want to share those with us?
Yes. Surprisingly enough, Consumer Reports.
Oh, okay.
Consumer Reports has an entire section devoted to travel.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
They review the kinds of things that you would expect: backpacks, weekender bags, luggage.
Okay.
But also airlines.
Oh. And Consumer Reports, it's like an unbiased review, or it's like they really, they're not paid by anybody. There's nobody sponsoring them.
Right.
Okay.
So much better than an Amazon review, too. You do an Amazon review and they say, it arrived on time. Consumer Reports, not only does it arrive on time, but they've taken four strollers, you were saying?
Yes. The best strollers for travel.
Oh,
so
wow.
They've paid somebody to take those strollers on an airplane and compare them.
And compare them and take them around and use them as you would in traveling. Mm-hmm. Very cool. I've used Consumer Reports to buy my teen daughter a laptop. So, I mean, I understand the concept of Consumer Reports. I did not think about using it for travel.
They also have a section on dealing with customer service.
Okay.
It is from 2016, that particular buying guide.
Okay.
But treating other people like they're human beings never goes out of style.
That's true. That's true.
Do you have a green thumb? Are you new to gardening? No matter your skill level, every season is gardening season at the library. We have an extensive collection of gardening books and online resources that can plant the seeds for new ideas and help you cultivate your indoor and outdoor projects. We also have seed libraries. Our Take and Give seed libraries are currently accepting donations of vegetable, herb, and flower seeds. Bring your heirloom seeds into a library to share with other gardeners for spring planting. Learn more today at scld.org.
Now, if you're going to a country where they're speaking a different language than what your native home language is, what do we have for folks that are trying to learn a new language?
Well, we, of course, have some physical materials. You can still get language learning CDs if that's your style and if you still have a CD player.
Okay.
But we also have a really wonderful digital resource / app called Pronunciator. Pronunciator is available in a variety of languages. We also use it for folks learning English because you can change the interface, like the next lesson button, to be in any language that you want.
Nice.
But if you are an English speaker preparing to study abroad, that would be a lovely complement to perhaps your existing Duolingo exercises.
Sure.
Yes, and it involves listening comprehension.
And if I remember correctly, there is sort of a travel section that kind of you can prioritize learning those phrases like, where is the bathroom?
Yes. Any language learning system worth its salt is going to prioritize the travel vocabulary and have it called out in a special selection. So,
Wonderful.
yes.
And then there's some other digital resources, like if you're traveling abroad, there's different cultures, different things that you might experience.
Yes, Culturegrams is one of my hands-down favorite databases that we have.
Okay.
It specifically focuses on culture, surprisingly enough.
Hence the name.
But it has all kinds of great information, and it's organized in kind of bite-sized chunks.
Okay.
You get a brief history, but you also get things like, how do people greet each other?
Okay.
Do men and women shake hands?
Okay.
How close do people stand to each other?
That can be a big one because your personal bubble is different from country to country.
Yeah,
Culture.
I learned that in Peru, people stand very close to each other. In the United Kingdom, not so much.
What was that like in Peru the first time? Yeah. So, okay. And then we were talking, you had mentioned, when we were previously talking about Culturegrams, about recipes.
Yes. Culturegrams has an entire section of recipes. You can just click on the word recipes in the World Edition. You can pick a country.
Yeah.
And there's usually a main dish, a side dish, and a dessert.
So that would be a fun, like, especially if you have kids or if you're taking family members who are maybe less food adventurous than you are, you could try cooking that at home and saying, we might be experiencing food like this where we're going, for example, to kind of prepare for your travel abroad.
That would be wonderful for kids who have sensory sensitivities and need to be exposed to new sensations in a safe place. Good idea, Erin.
You know, every now and then I get one. All right. Anything else to share about these great online digital resources?
LinkedIn Learning and Udemy both have courses on photography.
Oh.
Including photography with your smartphone.
Nice.
Which you're probably going to have with you anyway. You don't want to be lugging around a DSLR. You can use your smartphone.
Nice.
Got nice tips on how to get the best picture you can.
That's a great tip. I just point and shoot, and they don't always turn out very well. So yeah, great. And then along with stuff that we have at the library or available through our website, what else can the library help people with in terms of traveling abroad? What sorts of things can we? Because we can give people a lot of information, even non-library.
That's
information.
Correct. Yes. We think of libraries as holding the resources, but librarians also know how to find very authoritative information outside of our library buildings. So before traveling, I do recommend that all travelers check 2 government websites. Government information is an overlooked source of information, data.
Valuable.
Valuable data. So you should, of course, visit the CDC's website. I've got their URL here, cdc.gov/travel. It's very interactive. You can tell them who you are if you have any health concerns and where you're going. And it will return a list of recommendations for keeping yourself safe from illnesses that are geographically specific or more prominent in one place or another.
And is there like maybe even a recommended immunization?
Yes,
potential?
there's also
like
a section on which vaccines you should have before you leave. And some vaccines are are specific to illnesses that are not common in the U.S. So
Yes.
I also found some information about where to find the specific vaccine that you need, because they may not be available in every clinic or at every doctor's office.
Wow.
So cdc.gov can help you locate the vaccine
That's great information. Yeah, very important if you're traveling abroad to check that.
The other government website that everyone should check before studying or traveling abroad is the State Department's website. They also have a specific travel portal. It's travel.state.gov.
Okay.
So the State Department is the department that's in charge of managing our relations with other countries. And they have an alert system to let you know if there are things going on in a country that might make you want to think twice before you visit.
Sure.
And they will also have really fascinating things about local laws so that you don't accidentally run afoul with something that you're not familiar with. For example, vaping products are fine to take with you in most places in the U.S., but they're illegal in many countries. So you might accidentally get stopped at customs for having something that seems innocuous in your bag to you,
Right.
but is not permitted in other countries. The State Department's website will give you a rundown of the most common pitfalls for travelers that way.
Also very important. Okay.
And also has a section on driving laws if you intend to drive, and information about how to get your international driver's license.
I haven't been to many other countries. Of course, I have been to Mexico and Canada because they're our neighbors, and the UK. And the UK, they don't drive on the same side of the road as we do. But I had my husband do all the driving.
I was once at a bed and breakfast with a wonderful German couple who were doing a road trip across the United States. And they shared that in Germany, the stoplights are positioned where you stop. If you picture an American intersection for a minute.
Across and over.
Right. We have a white line where you're supposed to stop, and then about a half a block ahead of you is the actual stoplight.
Right.
So the first time they encountered an intersection,
Whoops.
they found themselves stopped in the middle of it, not knowing. So I don't know if Germany has an equivalent to the State Department's instructions on driving in other countries.
But hopefully they get one.
Yes, if you're an American attempting this, do check out the State Department's.
Yeah, see, if I was in Germany, I would be way back from the light.
I don't know if they have a white line to cue you.
Okay.
So without the white line, I don't know what I would do. My brain would probably just explode.
Or, see if there's someone local that'll drive.
It's a brave person who drives in another country, but I think we have brave library customers who might be attempting it.
Wait, I just really quickly, I think this is kind of funny. My husband was doing great the whole trip, never going on the wrong side of the road. The last day we stopped to get gas and he pulled out to the right side instead of the left side. I was like, left side, just panicked. There was nobody coming. But he was so great the whole time until the very last day as we're going to the...
I'm glad you're all okay.
There was nobody there. We were fine.
Our Tuesday Memory Cafes at North Spokane Library are friendly, weekly gatherings that offer a community space for those navigating memory loss and their caregivers. Every Tuesday at 11 a.m., stop into the library to connect and participate in activities, all selected to promote mental acuity, health, and wellness. Memory cafes are a comfortable way to connect with other caregivers and people experiencing memory loss. Be part of something special where understanding and support go hand in hand.
But anyway, this is great information. And if somebody has a question that they're not finding an answer for, or they feel overwhelmed, sometimes Google, you put in a term and it's just so much is there and you're not sure what's accurate, what's still the case. Anyway, if they're overwhelmed with Google, what would you recommend? if they're going to travel abroad and they want information.
Sure.
Yeah, I would say a country's official government website.
Okay.
Good place to go.
Yeah.
Yes, I encourage you anytime you are overwhelmed by some kind of research to take advantage of your librarians, whether that be by visiting us, calling. Someone will answer our phones and you can have a reference question there. Or if you'd rather not speak in real time, you can use the Ask a Librarian button on our website. I answer a lot of those. I remember one sort of travel adjacent. Somebody was about to move to the area and they asked for what kind of resources were available here specifically. I ended up calling that person back and being like, well, this is what you know. And we had a lovely conversation that was kind of her first taste of what Spokane is like.
Nice.
I love having those interactions. Other people do too. So putting in an Ask a Librarian will get you either an email or a phone call back with some very targeted suggestions of places to get information so we can feel the overwhelm and you can get the final curated list.
Well, and the other thing that I remind everybody I talk to is that librarians and the staff at the libraries, you guys are fielding these questions all day long.
That's true.
And so you don't really get so overwhelmed. You've probably maybe been asked a similar question in the past. So you kind of have a little head start where you kind of, oh, you know what? We should check here. I think I know where I can find this information for you. So it's your job to find and know and share and distribute information.
Yes, it's the difference between you opening up the cupboard under your sink and looking at the pipes for the first time and the plumber opening it up and going, oh, it's one of those kind. I'll need this sort of fitting. Yes, that's
So,
my technical plumber talk.
That's very technical. But yes, that's a good analogy. I always recommend if you have an idea or you have something you want to research, go to the library. And that could be, like you said, doing it through an online form, giving us a call, coming in and talking to somebody at the front desk. So wonderful. And if you're traveling abroad, start at the library.
Start your journey here.
And thank you both for being here. What a fun idea and topic. Diane, you had this idea to share these resources. Thank you. And Dana, thank you so much also for all your expertise. And thank you for listening and watching. And if you travel abroad, travel to your library first. And we'll catch you next time.